What's going on, good people? Hey, man, listen, if you're here, that means you kept it on the low, but you told somebody, though. It's time for another episode of a podcast that doesn't exist. Shh, why y'all talk so much, man? As always, I'm your host. I go by the name of BKA Watts. That's better known as, mostly because y'all don't know my first name, and that's not what we hear about today, all right? I'm sitting down with my mans. Now, I'm going to let you introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, I'm John Manning. John Manning, all the way from Brooklyn, New York. Been out here in Cleveland for a period of time now, and live in Florida. Have a company that's doing well, and I'm happy to be here, man. Happy to be here with you.
It sound like you just said you was in 3 places.
Yeah,
man.
I travel a lot.
How you maneuvering around?
Yeah, I've been in Cleveland for 10 years.
Okay.
And I decided one day just to move to Florida. It's been a goal of mine for a while.
Okay.
Most
people wait until they're real old to do it.
Yeah, nah, man. I just want to live my life, however I want it. I think that I always had the mindset that I can do whatever I want to do, go wherever I want to go. So I wanted to go on the beach, and so now I live on the beach, and
I respect it.
Yeah. I've been through a lot of things the past couple of years. I felt like it was a good time for me to step away and just live a life, So.
Hey, man, listen, I think everybody want to duck winter.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
I definitely want to duck winter. I think last winter or 2 winters ago, I was like, this is my last winter here. I ain't dealing with this. This is crazy.
I respect that.
I don't believe in shoveling no more, and I don't do none of that crap. Now, granted, I lived downtown for a while, so I didn't shovel for a while.
For sure.
But, I mean, come on now, still. So being in the... New Year's Eve, you got a glass of wine on the balcony, like it's nice temperatures. That's how you're supposed to do it, I think cold is only meant for Christmas time.
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
I'm born in December, so.
Okay, yeah. So you love the cold.
I always been here, so I'm just, it's like, all right, whatever, bro, it's that time of the year, we here with it.
Yeah,
but
let's do it.
I have had it set in my mind for a couple of years, like, I think Hawaii for Christmas is gonna be a thing.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think Christmas got to be in the cold. The weather outside is frightful. Is it frightful? Frightful, they say, right?
That's what they say. Yeah.
So it got to be frightful. You gotta let it snow. You can't let it snow in palm trees. Like in West Palm Beach, they had a tree made of sand. Like you can't have a sand tree. I mean, so for me. No, it got to be snow. But the day after Christmas, it's time to go. Yeah,
okay.
It's time to get out of
here.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah,
I'm just like I said. I'm just thinking like it'd just be nice to just experience one warm Christmas, just one time. That's all I'm thinking, just once.
You just like the ladies over there, man.
Like I got 36 years of breezy, snowy Christmases under my belt. I need one warm, toasty one. It's just something different.
Yeah.
But so. Talk to the people. Would you consider yourself? I mean, obviously you're a businessman, you're an entrepreneur, but you also a coach of sorts in your business. Works with other businesses to help do quite a bit. Scaling is a significant thing.
Yeah.
That a lot of entrepreneurs, especially in the beginning, the early phases, don't even consider.
Yeah.
So let's talk to that. Like how do you classify yourself right now with what you got going on?
I'm a businessman. I focus on my business. I don't consider myself a coach, even though I do coach. I think that I lead by example. I tell people exactly what I do, not necessarily where I've never been. I'm not the one that tries to start a coaching business based on places I've never been. I know John Maxwell says, don't be a travel agent, sending people to places you've never been. So I think for me, people started viewing me as a coach more because I just started focusing on my business and got results. And when I'm talking to people, I'm not giving them the, theoretics, right? The whole like, oh, you just got to be motivated, man. You just got to be, you got to push when nobody. These are all great advice. But business owners need to know exactly, like, I got X amount of bills, I have X amount of sales. How do I get over this hump and scale my business? Yeah. So for me, going through the journey of the ups and downs, tomorrow will be 19 years of me being an entrepreneur. So I've been through lots of low moments, losing everything and stuff like that. And we'll talk about that. But, for me, going through those journeys, to have a business now that's doing millions of dollars, I can walk somebody through the process on how to do that. Like, I think I'm at the point where I can like if you have a product or a service business, I can probably tell you exactly what you need to do to scale this business. You know what I mean? Because I just put myself right into the role of how to do it and do that. So people started to view me as a coach, but I do sales. You know what I mean? I'm a salesperson. I have a sales organization across the country where we're in multiple states. We have hundreds of agents, and we focus on helping business owners increase their sales. So,
Understood. So are there specific a specific niche or particular types of businesses that you prefer to work with or that you focus on, or is it anybody who comes to you with whatever it is that they're doing, you try to find a way to work with them? How does that work?
yeah, it's all hybrid right now. So, for me, when I started in this industry, I started with my mentor, who I met 19 years ago. He showed me a check for $42,000 that he made in a week, and I dropped out of college and started working with him. So, from there, what he was doing was he was working with these large companies, these energy companies and these, door-to-door stuff and things like that. So I kind of jumped into that space and learned how to build a business through leveraging other Fortune 500 companies. So I've worked with companies like Spectrum, like AT&T, like Sprint. I worked with government programs, healthcare programs, and we will be the ones to hire the sales agents to represent them and train the sales agents to go out and get the sales. Yeah. So I did that, but we're at a point now where we're starting to work with a lot of local businesses. We just went to Invest Fest. We had 20-something people there that we were hired by them to do sales for them. We are working with a lot of names now. People even in this city, Cleveland, where we're kind of stepping in now and being the salespeople for them, teaching them how to. Not really teaching them, but actually, doing the sales for them and, selling their products, selling their services. So if a person has a good business that can scale and can make me some money, then that's what we're going to do. If everybody makes money, then it's all a win. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So what I hear in that, which is great, is that, you're not in a space where it's, if you don't have this much, it's out of the question to work with us.
No. Because for me, even though I'm quite sure I will charge for services, if you have a business that I know I can make money from, I think I would rather we could figure something out from that point on. I'm not a stickler when it comes on to that, because what most entrepreneurs need, of course, every entrepreneur needs, is sales. So, but a lot of them, they don't know how to scale themselves through people. They just know how to be the entrepreneur that knows how to, market properly and, brand themselves. But it's still limited, because you're still the one person that still needs to facilitate this whole thing. I can come in and hire a whole sales team for you. Right. And now we get more business and stuff like that. So yeah, I've worked with people that are like, right now we're working with this company called Wolfie White, and we're doing a big launch in New York and Pennsylvania, where we're hiring sales agents that will be going out and selling their products. It's a great company over here in Cleveland. And, it's a company that we're working with in terms of just building out the sales platform and looking to scale that business to millions of dollars. Because, if it's not millions of dollars, what are we talking about?
Exactly. And the good thing with that is you take, any of us who, obviously I'm running a business myself, in this space that I have to operate.
Beautiful
with
business,
podcasting. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lounges Content Studio.
Yeah.
Being inside of this space, there have certainly been points where it's being the one at the forefront of everything, being the main point of contact, being the one who makes every arrangement, takes every call.
Yep.
That is, it's doable.
Yeah.
But you'll never grow in that way. And when it comes to scaling, there's two parts of it. For what you're talking about doing that your company can offer and provide to these people, it will give them obviously sales. Sales equal money. Cool. But it's that guidance when it comes to scaling, because sometimes people grow too fast and then implode. If you overdo it, you overshoot. Also, what you're doing is providing the owners, the operators, the opportunity to not have to spend every hour working in the business, but being able to take time back to work on the business.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I want to scale fast all the time.
I feel you.
And if I implode, I implode, but I think that if you're a real entrepreneur, sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need the ability to see, hold on, what the hell just happened just now? You're going to figure out the times when things are not working well, you know what I mean? But I think the reason why I always want to scale fast, because sometimes in order for you to really hit large targets, your goal have to be large. So for me, I don't want to jump into a business to say, I'm going to take this little step by step and we'll see how this is. Then when next year comes, all cool, sounds great. I'm the guy that if I'm starting a business, the first target goal is $1 million in the first year. And I'm writing every detail out of how to do that. Once I have the detail out, this is my trick code right here, the trick that I do. Once I have the full details on how to do $1 million, I erase the entire plan. And then I create a $5 million plan. And I now go insane for 5. And what you will realize is you don't have, and this is what I did literally to scale to, when I first crossed $1 million, we were at 900,000 the year prior and the year after the 3.2. But it was really just that difference right there. It was me having a detailed strategy, you know what I mean, that I said, all right, well, we're going to go for 10 mil. And if anything happens, then at least we went way past the mil. And, so for me, that was such a pivotal part of knowing that you need to set a big target that creates pressure on yourself to go at a much higher speed. So that when you go at that high speed, okay, you're going to have a lot of things that might happen, lose contracts here, okay, lose this, okay, cool. And then you now figure out like the systems that you need to get that. And by the time the year is over, you look at yourself like, man, we had a pretty decent year. And your belief system now of what you can do is way higher. So the following year, you're going for it. That's kind of how I naturally go about in business. Everything is systems. Everything is, you have to make sure that that's done properly. But I see a lot of entrepreneurs, they would start a business and they would literally just take their time with it. Well, let's just call it what it is. And, shout out to you for your business and what you do. Most entrepreneurs need to be like you. You know what I mean? No, I mean that because you took a gamble on yourself and you put pressure on yourself
all the time.
that you have to step up every day and work this business because the lights are not on just because you're motivated. The lights are on because you go to work. You know what I mean? So what entrepreneurs do is they will start a business and they will give that business part-time work.
Yeah.
Right? And just research all day and come up with systems all day and come up with strategies all day and just say, oh, we're taking our time. And it's like, what do you mean take your time? Like get some pressure and go work. You know what I mean? For sure. Like you worked 40 hours at your last job. Why aren't you working 40, 50, 60 hours at this business that you said that God gave you and is your passion? You know what I mean? So that was the thing I always say, like, I'm not in for all the motivational entrepreneurs. I'm real for real entrepreneurs that want to really scale their business. And I focus on telling them, like, let's go bigger. Like sometimes I even have some of them fly out to my apartment in Florida and I'll have them board out because, I believe in getting the board in your house and strategizing, right? So,
for sure.
And I just, whatever they say that they're doing, like I would just come up with a plan. I would sit down and listen to their whole plan, their whole strategy. I would hear the business out, know the numbers. A lot of entrepreneurs don't know the numbers, so we have to go through the numbers. And once I know your numbers, okay, you saw this amount, I can create a whole plan for you to do that. And they would normally walk out saying, yo, I got this. Like it's done, So I work with people like you, you know what I mean? Like real hardcore entrepreneurs that's waking up every single day and going out there and getting it.
No, that's great. You say so much.
Sorry.
Like that speaks to me for sure because I definitely get up and get in motion every single day and not just at this one thing. And it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
especially, it's one thing for somebody who has a business. I operate this one sole thing. All right, that's great for you. But for somebody like myself, I'm a host. So if I'm booked, I have to go be somewhere. If and they want me, I'm the one on that stage. I'm the one on that mic, whether that's a gala for a nonprofit, whether it's a concert, whatever it is, I have to be there physically present for that. As an artist, if somebody wants my art, I have to sit down and put those hours in on that paper and create whatever that visual is. Podcasting as a business is the one thing that I was able to create systems for, put procedures in place, standards of operations, and be able to hire and train people on what I do to operate every piece of this equipment. It started with me obviously figuring out a method that worked for me on my own.
Yes.
Once I had that, and now I have my method, which is no one else that I know in this space does it the way that I do it. I can say it's proprietary. You know what I mean?
I like that boss talk right there. See, that's the type of energy I'm.
Do you feel me?
Yeah. Ain't nobody do it like me.
Nobody does this the way that I do it.
Yeah.
And not just that. Once I figured out my way, then I understand that now I don't have to do this.
Facts.
I can hire somebody to do this.
Yes.
I have to be there to host. I have to do the art. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I whatever. There are elements of business for myself that I have to do. I don't have to do this part. So the behind the camera, somebody else can stand there and do that.
Yes.
Somebody else can do the edited work. Like that doesn't have to be me.
Yes.
Which means that that's why I put so much effort into this business, because I want to be able to take it, with somebody like yourself, to be able to create more opportunity, more sales, to put more people in place. And also, with the notoriety that I'm currently gaining, the things that I have going on for myself, it creates a situation where there will be people, of course, who still want to directly work with me, but that also puts me in a position to where that's possible, but it's going to cost you much more than it's going to cost for you to just get one of my employees to do it.
Yeah. Which is why I don't promote me. I promote the business all the time. For sure. Because my job is to not do anything really, you know, and make money. I guess my question for you is I know it's in your podcast, but what made you develop that mindset? Because most entrepreneurs, like you have a mindset right now that can scale your business wide, right? Because you understand certain aspects of what you need to do in order for like what gave you, that insight on, like how to get to that point?
Burnout.
Okay. Yeah.
Burning myself out. Realize, because the thing is, when I left my last job, for me, it's been 8 years.
Yeah.
I ain't got as much time in the game as you, but it's been 8 years. Yeah. I left T-Mobile in 2016, March of 2016. So I'm getting close to my 9th year.
Yeah.
When I left, I knew I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I had already taking hosting and art to a space where I was matching, if not surpassing, what I was making working my corporate job. So when I stepped into it, my mindset initially was however many hours I put into that company, I'll put that many hours into my company. And I knew how much money I had to work with. Let's see how long I can stretch this out before I got to go get another job. I knew I had a management background. I knew I had sales background, plenty of experience. So I knew if I fell on really bad times, I could always go apply somewhere and pick up a gig. But once I got into this, I just found myself enjoying my day-to-day because I was doing what I enjoy doing, like the things I'm good at. And that's the only time I feel good. It's when I'm doing what I'm good at. I don't force anything. I don't do the things I'm not. But like I said, it got to a point where it's like, I want to say yes to everything because they're the things I enjoy. So when somebody says, we want you to host, we want you to rap, we want you to, whatever it was, if it's one of my things, I'm down. Lock me in. Let's. So I was always on the go. It got me to a point though, where like I said, I'm burnt out because then I'm doing so much. I'm pulled so many different directions. I'm spread thin. Like at the point where I am peanut butter. You know what I mean? I'm spread big thin.
Yeah.
But like I said, I started to look at podcasting, like I said, as a vehicle that could put money in my pocket, as something that I could do in front of and behind the camera. But like I said, it was when I realized that it's the one thing I do that I don't have to. That's when I started to shift my mind to figuring out what I needed to do and who I needed to put in place so I wouldn't have to.
Yeah, guys, entrepreneurs, pay attention to what he just said. This is how you grow your business. This is how you scale. Like, because what most entrepreneurs do is they are in a position where they are doing everything and they feel burnt out. I've been there. I've been to a point where we were only eating egg sandwiches, and, you know, from McDonald's, of course. You know, just little like, hey, how much is that thing? We can't put a bacon on it because bacon costs a little too much right now. You know what I mean? Like, because you needed the money to focus on the business that was going to sustain. I believe in burning bridges, so I didn't have a backup plan. You know what I mean? I didn't have, like, I'm not the one that says, if this don't work, then.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, that's like, we gon'.
Yeah, like, I don't.
You feel me?
Yeah, I don't have that.
Man. Listen, with T-Mobile, when I left T-Mobile, I was gone. I did a couple of commercials. I did some stuff for TV. I did some stuff for radio, and then they called me back. Like, yo,
hey,
you wanna come back?
Circle the block.
I told my boy, I said, dog, because they of course have somebody I'm cool with call me. I'm like, bro, whoever told you to call me, tell them I said fuck off. Like, please, tell them that's what I said. And he, oddly enough, he actually did it. So I was like, okay, bro. Burnt the bridge. Like, he's like, no, bro, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm too good at too much. To have to go work for somebody else and take what they give me when I can make what I'm worth.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with taking what they give you, but you have to never complain about having what they gave. I think the thing that I don't understand what people do is they sign the contract for what they want and then complain all day long about the fact that they're getting $20 an hour. Like, to me, it's like, well, if you don't like $20 an hour, just quit the job. It's very simple in my head. It doesn't. Oh, but I got bills to pay. I know. So does the entrepreneur does.
Yeah,
they also have bills to pay. And the only difference is the entrepreneur is actually doing the work. Like, you know, like, they're not just home with the laptop Googling all day. Like, they actually are going to go out there and do the same, because the business hired you to do money generating activities.
Right.
They calculated exactly how much money they will make from hiring you. That if you could understand that and do that in your business, you will make a lot more money, because then you will keep what they get and then also what they pay you together more. The problem is that most entrepreneurs are not self-motivated enough to push themselves without somebody telling them to be at this office at 9 o'clock. So if you know that's the case, then don't even jump into this space. You know what I mean? Because right now it's super sexy to be an entrepreneur. I say this all the time. It's super sexy to be an entrepreneur now, you know what I mean? Because Instagram makes it sexy. But the truth is we have a whole lot of fraudulent entrepreneurs. People that don't really know how to really wake up in the morning time on their own. I used to go across the street to my office across the street. One thing that I was happy about every single day was being the first one in the office, 8 o'clock every morning, period, non-negotiable, with nobody have to say nothing to me. And that's what made me feel like, yes, I'm a real entrepreneur. You don't have to tell me that. But the thing that I love about what you said, and I want to say this to the entrepreneurs, is, you know, being in a position where you are analyzing all the things that you did in order for you to become successful, so you can learn how to hire people to do those positions. That is how you scale your business. The thing, when I start a business, I have a restaurant called You Jerk downtown here, and my number one thing is I am not starting this business to work in the restaurant.
For sure.
So if the goal is that y'all think I'm gonna be up in the restaurant all day long, now in the beginning, yes, I gotta perfect the model, the system. And if the system is down, like I did just a couple months ago, I had to go back in there and make sure the systems are being done properly, because if the system's done properly, then the business moves. If the system's not being done properly, then of course we start going down. So that's what you do, but I'm not gonna be up here talking about, do you want jerk chicken sandwiches? Like, to me, this is supposed to bring me a passive income. So I tell people the goal is, like, most entrepreneurs want to keep so much money, but they want to keep so much money because they just don't know how to scale their business. Right. Like Netflix had to raise their prices now because they're probably having a hard time with all the different streaming. But when they were the only ones
Yeah.
right? They kept that bad boy at $9.99 because they know how to scale that thing all throughout. To me, if you know how to make a little off of a lot, and that's what I teach all the time, make a little off of a lot. So you can literally hire the people to do the cameras, do all the different things you need to do. And then by the time you look at all the operations and you say, all right, let's say I have an employee for all these different things. What do I keep when we get a new client? And you might say, well, yeah, I'm keeping a lot less. Okay, but that might be good because now you can focus on scaling this business. And now you say, all right, well, I'm keeping, let's say I normally keep $100 profit, but now I'm keeping $30 profit. Ooh, $30 profit. Okay, $30 that you now don't have to do anything and still make. So now let's go get 10 more of those bad boys.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And now I'm making a lot more than everybody else with my time. So when they see me, oh, John, you came back from Switzerland. Oh, John, you're here. Oh, John. Yeah, no, John is doing all that because John has, an assistant, operations manager, admins, like all these salespeople, sales managers, all these people in place that it allows me to keep a small portion of the product or the service or whatever it is. And my number one job as an entrepreneur is how do I scale this business? I don't want to think about nothing else. I don't want to think about emails. I'm not sitting out here trying to do the operation. I don't got time for that.
Right.
How do we make another 10? How do we take this thing to another 10 states also? Right. How do we do the things that actually matter? That is what you focus on. And I believe every entrepreneur can do that. So when I heard you say that, I was like, this guy got it. He knows exactly what he's doing because, you don't really go or listen to entrepreneurs that actually talk like that. You know what I mean? Like they will talk about, yeah, man, I got this. No, they're waiting for the big viral moment. They're waiting for the superstar to walk in and blow them up. That's really what they want. Right. All right. Nah. The one post that went viral, like you don't gotta go viral. Like you just gotta work and scale your business strategically. You know what I mean? And once you understand that, you'll make millions of dollars for sure.
Understood.
It's only right.
All right, so we in close to wrapping this thing up. I'm
just getting started.
No, you feel me? I know, right? Like, listen,
I'm joking.
Ready.
Yeah.
No. So I would say, I want one of each from you. I would like to ask you what you would consider as your lowest low in this business journey.
Okay.
And your highest high.
Very good question. My lowest low is lowest 2016. 2016, I scaled too fast.
I'm telling you.
I scaled too fast. And but really what it wasn't scaling too fast. 2016, I was lazy.
For sure.
I was lazy. I got high on my own supply, right? I thought I was the man. This is why I teach people all the time. You have to humble yourself. And the way you humble yourself is you get around people that's doing way bigger numbers than you. You know what I mean? And it humbles you to make you feel like, yo, I ain't really doing that, man. You know what I mean? So when people come to me like, oh, you're doing such big things, I'm like, oh, fam, I got so much work to go, man, because this brother just making 150 mil last year, and I'm sitting out next to him like, I ain't doing that. So for me, like, during that time period, I was making like probably $4,000 a week, and I thought I was the man. I thought I was a man, so I stopped doing the things that I did to get to that point.
For sure.
And what happens with momentum, you can build such large momentum, but there's no such thing as neutral in business, right? It's either you're going forward or you are going back very fast.
For sure.
So, but the thing is, if your business is large enough, right, you don't really see the back coming right away.
For sure.
So I'm coasting, I'm chilling, and literally it got to a point where, man, I lost all my guys. I, was fighting all the time with my ex-wife. I was, I lost my best friend. Not lost, like, but like he left. And for me, it was such a depression time. You know what I mean? I didn't have any money. I was out in Fresno, California.
Cost of living crazy, man.
Yeah. I had like I didn't have a car. My car got repoed. I bought my son's mom a car. Her car got repoed. I had an apartment in San Antonio that had an eviction notice. The only thing I had left was a little studio downtown. This is before LeBron. This is it was still like $600 a month downtown, right? Now that's not even real, but in downtown Cleveland, I had that one little studio, but I didn't even have the money to even go there. So, what we had to do was we had to literally go to car dealership after car dealership. My credit was shot. First car dealership, turned me down. And of course, they say, you don't want to run your credit so many times because it's going to, create. Man, when you don't got nothing, you don't care about how much.
No.
Pull it as much as you want to pull this bad boy. I need a car. And not only do I need a car, I need a car with zero down. I got no money. You know what I mean? Like broke like a joke. So I got denied. But because I'm a salesperson, I know this system called the law of averages. I know everybody's not telling me no, right? So if I speak to enough people, I will get a yes eventually. And then we went to Nissan, and Nissan gave us a car, no money down. Of course, high monthly, but I'll figure that out when the time is right. And it was such a low moment for me because I just felt like, man, I worked so hard and I lost this all. I didn't even have money for food. I was staying at 1-star hotels. I had to make lemonade and water from a hotel and drive 3 hours to LA. What's the other beach? Venice Beach. Mm-hmm. And we are literally outside Venice Beach all day selling water, lemonades to make money so I can afford to pay the office and also the 1-star hotel and also, making sure that we have food. So when we order a large pizza, you're looking at the slices different, because now you're saying, all right, check it out. We're going to do 2 slices today. All right, 2 slices for you, 2 slices for me. Put that bad boy back in that fridge. And, and the thing that I've learned, and this is a great lesson for a lot of you listening, but the thing that I've learned is, and I say this all the time, it's like the movie Dark Knight Rises, right? And I got a great lesson there because when I saw Dark Knight Rises, I actually had tears in my eyes. And you might say that's crazy, right? But let me tell you why. So if you remember Dark Knight, right? You ever saw Dark Knight Rises?
Of course.
Okay, good.
My other podcast is a movie review show.
Okay, yeah, this is my guy right here. All right, cool, let's go. So Dark Knight Rises, I never forget, I was just watching it one day and just to give myself some entertainment for the weekend. And there was a scene when Batman went to go fight Bane for the first time. And what I saw happen there was, if you remember Dark Knight, Batman is the man.
Untouchable.
He's the man. He's killing it, crushing it. Joker is a menace, and he's just, he's a genius. He's figuring it out, and eventually, boom, he got Joker. He goes on a 7-year hiatus. Now, I always say the people of Gotham is retarded because 7 years they didn't see Bruce Wayne and Batman, and all of a sudden 7 years they come back and see both of them the same day, and they still didn't know who he was. But that's another conversation for your next podcast.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Right. But literally, like, he comes out because he hears about Bane, and Bane is now starting to do his thing, and in his mind, he still thinks that he's Batman, like he was in Dark Knight. Mm-hmm. So all he says is, easy. I just go put on my Batman suit and
all right, gadgets.
I'm gonna go out there and this. And he did that, threw a punch, and Bane caught the punch and looked at him and said, "These has cost you your strength. Victory have defeated you." And went to beat him to a pulp. And I remember I saw that and I looked and I said, yo, that's me. Because I didn't have the energy. I didn't have the energy left to do the work anymore. I just thought that I was just gonna wake up and just say, yo, you John, man, you could go do this.
It's not how it works.
And I got beat to a pulp. You know what I mean? I couldn't go see my son for 2-3 months. I didn't have the money to go see him. I was lazy as hell. And I had to have a come to Jesus moment when I came back to Cleveland on what am I going to do? And that's when I told myself, you're going to have to start back from the ground up, and you're going to have to build from the ground, and you're going to have to do all the work and build your people. And literally that moment right there of not having to rely on people, knowing that if everybody leaves, I will be good because I'm going to go work this thing. I'm not going to be afraid to do the work that I'm hiring somebody to do. Right. I will pick the camera up if you don't come in here. Don't think for a second that I won't be the one to answer the phone calls, all right? To do, I would do every part of this business in order for me to make sure that me and my loved ones are taken care of. And that's exactly what I did. I went out and I started grinding in my business on my own, and it developed me this bulletproof. So now when I see all the people that I lead, I look at them straight up and I tell them straight up, listen, I love every last one of you guys and I want you guys to succeed here, but don't think for a second that if every one of you quit, I'm going to be on the street again. I will work my business. I'm not leaving the beach. The beach is sexy. Every morning I wake up, I look at that bad boy. So you think I'm just going to because no. For me, I'm going to put the energy and the grind in, and that was the reason why my business scaled, because I started leading because I want to lead and not because I don't really need, you know what I mean? I don't really need you. I want you here. I don't really need you here though. You know what I mean? And it made me become a leader that don't look at people just from a money standpoint. I can actually help you get to the next level in my company because I actually love doing this thing called leadership.
Yeah.
So that is the thing that I've learned in terms of my lowest moments. I didn't want to dive too deep because I could get tears in my eyes.
I feel you.
When it comes down to those times, because it was such a dark, dark just sounds, everybody says dark, but it was just a very depressed. I felt like I was going mentally crazy at some point. I felt like I was arguing all the time. It was just bad, you know what I mean? And, but look at me now. Hey, look at me now.
I'm getting paid.
I'm getting paid for. So let's go to your high moment now.
Yeah. Let's go to the high moment, man. I ain't trying to hold you hostage in this thing.
Nah, man, it's all good, man. We rapping. So my highest moment. I got so many highs now these days, but I think my highest moment and the biggest lesson is when we crossed and hit that 3.2. And the reason why I say that is because, I had a moment where when we hit 1 mil, remember the year prior, we were hoping to get we were really hoping to get this thing.
Got so close.
And we got so close. And it was we got to work hard again. Because, when the new year is up, you're back to zero. Everybody's back to zero on January 1st. No matter how much money they made last year, $0 is on, and now you have a whole year to see what you're going to do. So for me, it was okay, well, we're going to go for the mill. And then I went to Grant Cardone. I don't know if you know Grant Cardone. So, I go to a lot of Grant Cardone's conferences, and I went to one of the boot camps, and I remember he was talking about knowing your numbers and scaling and stuff like that. So for me, I went there, and that one lesson made me say, oh, let me go back and make a strategy. So let me not just work, you know what I mean, and just grind.
And just hope that you get where you're trying to go.
I need to have a plan,
For
you
sure.
know what I mean? And so I sat down in my office, and I was there for hours. Locked in. I had the Joe Budden podcast playing in the back, which is my little thing that I play when I'm just want to just have something playing.
Oh, for sure. Listen, the whole world on the JBP.
Yeah. So I just had that playing, and I just locked in to just strategizing the numbers, and I came up with the whole plan, and then I just erased the plan. I created a $10 million plan, and I said, all right, let's go for 10 mil. And when I sat down around, I think it was around April, with my accountant, he looked at my numbers. We already crossed the 1 mil mark, by April, May. But I'm looking at it, honestly, like it didn't even matter to me. When a year prior, I would have popped a bottle. We looked at the number, and you just see a whole bunch of 400% increase from last year. It's the numbers just look off the charts. But it didn't really do nothing to me. And I had to really humble myself and say like, yo, did you notice that we didn't even budge when we saw that number? Because my thinking went to a whole nother level. So I crossed that million in my mind, which is why I teach people all the time, money is a mindset. Because I crossed that number already mentally. So it was only right I'm going to get to that mill because I'm not going for the mill anymore. Like, whatever you tell your mind long enough, your mind will believe. Like whatever you say long enough. When I was younger, I have older brothers and sisters, and of course you like the older ladies from time to time, 1 or 2 years old. I had like a range, right? 3 years, right? 3 years is my rap, So for me, I used to lie about my age all the time. Like if I'm 15, I'll say I'm 16. So if you say that long enough, you start to believe that you're 16 until I became 16. I'm like, what the hell am I? I don't know where I am.
Yeah,
so I guess I'm 17.
I don't know how old that man is.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that was what I believed. If you say you're going for 10 mil and you come up with a plan for 10 mil, then guess what? You're going to go for it. So that literally shifted everything for me because it made me know that I can go after large targets, go through the ebbs and flows, and we'll definitely hit it. You know what I mean? If it's not this year, it will happen next year. But I will always be better than I was the year prior. I will always grow my business more and more. So right now, I'm going for 100 mil. That's my goal.
Hey,
100, and I got a 3 to 5 year plan to hit it, and I already know the amount of states I need to be in. I already know the amount of agents I need to have. I already know the whole thing. So I just need to now see how serious I am to actually doing it. How are you that motivated to have this large goal that most people don't hit? And the first thing that you will ask yourself is simple. Is there anybody else in my industry that is doing it? And if the answer is yes, you don't need to have faith. You just need belief. Because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So if I can't see it, I need the faith to know that I can get it. But if you're already making millions in it and I'm in your space, I don't need the faith. Because you already proven that it can be done.
Absolutely.
I just now need to create a belief system that I can actually do it too. So it's the Me Too movement, right? I can do it like you. So, for me, I just jump in and I just apply myself and get that target.
And that's the same thing I do too, good brother. Listen, man, I appreciate you. Please tell everybody where they can follow you, where they can find you, where they can contact you so that they can come to you with their business and say some more, please.
Yeah. John_Manning_table. Probably should get rid of the underscores, but John_JON_Manning_table. You can find me on Instagram, John Manning on TikTok. You can hit me up from there for sure. If you're in Cleveland, come down to my restaurant, U-Jerk. We got the best jerk chicken in Cleveland, hands down.
We'll have to see about that. You feel me?
Hands down. This is not even a question, actually. The best jerk chicken in Cleveland for sure. I'm here to help you guys for sure.
Absolutely, man. Listen,
Thank you for having me, by the way.
No, man, I appreciate you pulling up, tapping
Yes,
in,
sir.
and just and providing the people with such quality free game. Listen, man, I tell you all the time, tell somebody on the low, but don't talk too much about this, man. Y'all know what we doing, man. Keep it on the low. Tell somebody there was another episode of a podcast that doesn't exist. I just happen to be your host. I go by the name of BKA Watts. Make sure y'all follow me everywhere at BKA Watts. Very simple, just like it sounds. As always, stay tapped in, stay tuned in. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Lounge's Content Studio. Shout out to Micah the Dope Dixon in the background.
Yeah.
Air horns and sound effects and whatnot. And I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Make sure y'all follow my mans and go get your business up.